Welcome to the DKHizouse. You know what we talking about. Welcome to the DKHizouse. That's what we gonna run our mouth. Hey y'all, just a little disclaimer. Everything is for entertainment purposes only. Everything is alleged. I don't know none of these people. I'm just giving my thoughts, my opinions, predictions on what I think I see and know and hear. And I want you to do the same down in the comment section. So don't take everything too seriously, but only with a grain of salt. Because you know we be shoving it up in this kitchen. And welcome, glad to have you. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you've been here a couple of times, we'd love to have you in the fam bam. All right, y'all. So apparently there is a war on children. Henceforth, while children need grace, and how childhood really can be a hard knock life. So y'all go visit that video. And yeah, that part. My video today, excuse me, is just basically saying, okay, there's an attack on children, and maybe even going to why there could be attack on children. Okay, and the reason I say attack on children, because you hearing stories come out about how kids are being attacked by adults in the school system, people trying to have relationships with them, which is beyond me. And then you also hear about, excuse me, in some industries in that deal with people trying to become famous, they say they usually start at a young age, and whether it's and certain things kind of happens to them, or they are experiencing certain things that can really affect their purity, if that if that makes sense. And then you hear about excuse me, Bobby Weinstein, who had a slew of things allegedly put up against him, of how he had some private island where they had escapades with children over there and stuff like that, and how now there is a lawsuit out, which probably is just going to get thrown against the wall, apparently. I'm sorry, because literally everybody that's famous is on that list, and it's disgusting. I'm talking about to different TV show crews, to celebrities, to actors, and it's just like, what? For real? Now, I had made a comment about R. Kelly's situation where I can see if the girls had already been virgins, but even then, I still don't think it's like you still need to scout out for young girls just because they may or may not want to have sex with you because you're famous or whatever. But literally, there's people who actually scope out young children to have sex with them. And that's disgusting. I feel like, I know for a fact that they said that they do have child brides, and how some people say that kids really mature young and fast because, that's when you start your puberty and stuff like that. And to be honest, I do feel like some kids are very wise for their age, but I still feel like kids need to have the opportunity to be kids and experience life and stuff like that without having to be forced into a lifestyle that is going to make their brain go into a whole nother sector, a whole nother world. So therefore, I do have a problem with childhood predators. And then you even watch some cartoons and stuff like that, and you see how, and you hear how sexual innuendos are put into the cartoons, and the kids are perceiving that thing. I was just watching a cartoon the other day, how certain features on the person's face look like certain parts on a person's body. Just simple like that. And you just never know that you're watching stuff that has people putting these little innuendos in there and stuff like that. So not only do children have to deal with life itself, they have to deal with, these predators that think it's okay to harm them. These predators that think it's okay to put sexual innuendos in their music, in their cartoons and stuff that they watch on TV. It's really disgusting. And then you wonder, okay, so why is that? Well, if you don't know, in this society of the unwoke, a lot of people are suffering from their childhood wounds or childhood injuries or whatever, that they endured as a child. But I also feel like it's because if you are not able to overcome your childhood situation, or it affects you in a certain kind of way, then you're much more easier and prone to be used as a puppet, like to somebody else's will, because you're on this level or this path of brokenness. And I feel like if people feel like they can break you, then you're able to be used to their will, whether it's to produce or put out whatever they want you to put out, to say or do whatever they want you to say, because they can hold this power against you. Because, with this grooming thing, if you have it done from a child, an adult, you think, okay, you can trust them, that you can believe what they say, and you take this into consideration. Even if it's your parent, if they're pushing me into this industry with these wolves, I need to accept it because my parent loves me. You know what I'm saying? So it's more like, it's either going to make you or break you. And if they do break you, it's going to make you go on a spiral or something to where you can pretty much potentially be a form of a sacrificial lamb, because your life is no longer worth anything. However, you can spiral into this beautifulness and evolve and say, yeah, I may have a crappy lifestyle, but I'm not the only one. I may have a crazy childhood, but I'm not the only one. And I'm still in control of my life. I wasn't in control as a child, but as an adult, I have more say on what I allow in my body or around my body or in my mind or in my presence, where I may not have had that as a child, but I'm no longer a child, and now I think like a man or I think like a woman. So I feel like the war on children is just rampant, because literally, if this island that was inhabited allegedly by so many billionaires, and these activities were going on, and you hear about people that were said to been over their little kids who endured things by certain celebrities and artists and stuff. And some of them were in the government. Some of these people are in power. It's like, who you going to tell? Who you going to talk to? Who you going to run to? Who's going to believe you? And so it's just like, I could see if it was like only 2 or 3 people. It seems as if it's the whole world that's on that list. Like, the list is long, and it includes some people that are in very high positions, some people that you wouldn't even expect to be on that list. So apparently there's a war against our children, and children already have it hard. So if you're going to inject your children into certain industries, into famous situations, you really got to prepare them for the fact that they could experience a lifestyle that may be somewhat undesirable, and that they have to be prepared for. Because I don't feel like a normal child will be able to adapt to those situations, but I feel like that's what the people are banking on. Oh, well, their parents let me have them or work with them, so they just need to accept it and deal with it. And for this, I give them this money, or I give them this fame, I give them this power, And I feel like that's where it comes into the fact that people saying, people are selling their souls, because literally you have certain parents that just give their kids up, and it's like, here, you're going to bring me money. You may have to endure some hard times, some hard situations, but bring me my money and deal with it. And the kid's like, okay, let me act, let me perform, let me put on a show. And you have these other people, that have already had people accusing them of terrible, horrible situations and things. And your child is around these people or in this industry and on this platform, and it's like you're not around, and you're not expecting nothing to happen, because you're expecting this person to be good because they promise you a lifestyle of luxurious living and so forth and so on. And I just feel like demons can come into, when a child comes to the world, they're pretty much pure, unbraided. But if you can break them down, if you can tear them up, then the evil or demonic spirits can sometimes dwell in them, or their thoughts. They'll start thinking crazy, or they'll start wanting to do the same thing that was done to them because they think it's normal. Oh, well, I was abused as a child, so maybe it's cool for me to abuse a child or something like that. Because I feel like a lot of these people in some way that are predators where they had the same thing done to them. And they survived, and they become famous, they became wealthy, they became rich, and they feel like, okay, well, isn't that what most people want? So if all it requires is me to take away their purity or do something with their body, like, that should be okay. To me, I don't think it should be, but I feel like that's the norm, and it's scary to me. It's almost like you really got to guard your children, talk to your children about every little thing, because even some of the children directed shows and adages, like I said, there's innuendos in some of them, and there's certain people that deal with children products and children world, the world of children that were put on that pedo island of being there, and they have a lawsuit. Like I said, it's probably not going to ever go anywhere, hit a wall, because at the end of the day, the people that are running the world, like literally running the raw world, are the people that were on this list. And I mean, none of them that are not ruling or not on the list, allegedly. Like, this is insane. Like, I didn't even see the full list because it's long, but the part that I did see, I was shocked behind, and it just let me know that parents are just as guilty. If you're gonna just let your child be the breadwinner, or let your child go into this industry of hope and fame. One example is Aaliyah. Rest her soul. Because it shouldn't happen, I feel, with that situation. I feel like she should still be here making music. But she was a woman who went into the industry at a very young age. And she was led around a particular person who's locked up. And things were said about this person for years, but everybody just kind of put it on the rug. And then the parents, let her be around this person alone. Like, they would be on tour, on a bus alone, and she's a child. People said that they would see her and a grown man interacting in adult activities. Somebody said they were allegedly married. Somebody said that they allegedly had a child. And so the craziness of how it was so protected, how it was swept under the bus, people just brushed it off, act like it was normal. It just lets you know the times that we actually live in. And even though it's crazy or whatever, Raz B, he came forward and said things were done to him as a child, So anytime, apparently, that you want to be famous, that's something that your child may or may not be subjected to, depending on who or what avenue they're going. And so my heart goes out to these children, because they have to endure a lot. And for a child's brain to grasp all that, they're the real superstars. They're the real superheroes, because the average Joe wouldn't be able to deal with that, the average blow. But literally, that list of people is literally the whole world targeting youth. And I've heard stories of some of the stuff that went on over there. And some of these are real ritualistic things going on. Said by certain people that went, and some of these are horrific. Some of these things are demonic and devilish. And yeah, we aspire to be great, we aspire to be this, we aspire to be that, but just as well as they're evil, demonic in the world, there's also people that are rich and wealthy who are of the light and want positive things happen in the world through affirmations and manifestation naturally. You don't have to hurt people and kill people and rape people to be successful. There's other avenues that you can go about it to do this, because why? We're all powerful in our own right, in our own scope of things. So we don't have to succumb to this. But at the same time, it's like when you have the whole world involved in some kind of secret organization who feels like it's okay to interact on a certain level of things, and it controls most of the world, including the everything that we pretty much see and permeates our reality. It's like, who gonna come up against it? Who's gonna say anything? So you really can't do too much, but know where you're putting your children. Know what you're letting your children see and watch and take part in, because at the end of the day, it's a war on these kids, like literally. And you really have to let them know how to protect themselves as a parent. I feel like if you help them protect themselves, then they'll be more aware of things and they won't be messed up in the head, you know. But I feel like, yeah, you may want money, you may want power, bills, this and that paid, but at the end of the day, I still don't think a child should suffer in the hands of any man because of it. But it's sad, and that's what's really going on in society. And it's very unfortunate, it's very sad. And you hear so many horror stories, so many grotesque things that allegedly go on in the world of Hollywood and society, allegedly. And a lot of people turn the other head or say, no, that's not going on. But a lot of this stuff is true and it's disturbing. And not many people are talking about it, not many people are saying nothing about it. And more younger kids are going into the industry. More and more people are starting the industry at a young age. Sure enough, they're wealthy now, they're rich now, so they probably don't care. But at the same time, it's like the stuff that they have to endure, like they just have to have a mindset to endure that type of toxicity. And it's the part of the parent's job to help them do that and maneuver. I don't feel like it's cool to just throw them to the wolves and let them figure it out. And really, is that really the price of fame? Because karma is real. Somebody gonna have to pay for it. Well, as always, thank you for stopping by at the His House for your latest tea, entertainment, and gossip and predictions. And we will definitely have more. So definitely come back and see us. And if you want to be notified, hit that bell and also subscribe, especially if you've been here before. Come back again and again. But subscribe and join the fam bam. We'd love to have you. And if you liked anything that was said on today, or even made you laugh, joke, think, ponder, make sure you hit that thumbs up or that like button, especially if you agree or disagree, and comment down below.